Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the RaceKraft Simulations V8 Vets Split 4 broadcast. I am John Van Ree, and with me this evening in the lounge we have the one and only Bruce McLeod, Mark Dial, and Michael Hayes. How are we, gentlemen?
Yep, good, thanks, John.
Yeah, good, thanks.
We're practicing. I've got to find 2 seconds on Greg Favell yet.
2 seconds on Greg Favell. You know, Greg Favell, Greg Favell is sitting over in the GT Pro race control room as the chief steward, getting pointers off everybody at the moment, don't you, Bruce?
Yeah, currently saw him sneaking in a practice session earlier. So having good fun in the GT3 supports, but that's not why we're here. We're here for the main game.
That's right. We are here for the main game, not split 1, not split 2, not split 3. We are here for split 4. And of course, tonight we are at the one and only Algarve in Portugal, in Portimão, where we start on the start-finish straight and we head down into Primeira, of course, number one corner, where we go down the hill, sweep to the right, and then sweep to the right again through turn 2 into Lagos with the hard-hitting second gear corner. We come up over the hill through turn 4 and then dip back down into the Torre Vips, into the hairpin, where we then come back out around the beautiful resort complex motel. It is a great little place. Never stayed there, but if I'm such an influencer here at V8 Vets, they might offer me some accommodation and flights. Who knows? We then go through turn 7 and head up into Samsung. That is one of the most Portuguese corners I've ever met, called Samsung. Great corner. We come up and then we go over the crest, over the ridge, over the rise, and then drop down into Craig Jones and up into Portimão, turn 10 and 11. Where we go downhill again into turn 12 and then come uphill into turn 13 and then into 14 into Sagres, where we then come around, take a big gulp through 15 and then head back down onto the start-finish straight. It is a great little circuit. I think all the action's going to be down at Primeira, looking where Marty is. He knows where the action is. He's already there. It is going to be a great track. And, of course, the boys over at W2, Will Wilson, he definitely got out into his European EASA regulations. He's upgraded from the Cessna 152. Apparently he's got special cargo on board, and he is going to take us for a little quick fly here over the Portimão circuit. Of course, it's just close to sunset, so it's just after the race. The race only just finished, apparently, and it is a great-looking little circuit. Cut into the hill a little bit. It has hosted Formula One. It has hosted MotoGP. It is an awesome little part of the world. And a huge, huge thank you, of course, to Will for providing these beautiful flybys that we get of this great circuit. And, of course, he had special cargo on board tonight.
Tastes almost as good as beating Van Ree.
And I'm really, really a bit worried about the people that Will Wilson flies around. Tell you what, mate, I'd be a bit worried about where you're going to land that package. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to be banned at a few airports. Anyway, we'll continue on. There's a few other things we need to look at. We need to look at the championship standings, of course, after 3 rounds, just so we get a heads up of where we're going to be going into this one. Steve Williams from DPR, OPR, he leads, sitting there on 536 from Simon Black. Oh, great to see Blackie. We did talk about Blackie trying to step out from the micro lift shadows, sitting in P2 in the championship. That is a cracking effort. Hasn't won a race. So 3 races, 3 different race winners. And Simon Black hasn't won a race. Abel Verban sitting in 3rd. Michael Hayes in 4th. How are you feeling about that, Hazy?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm probably a little higher than I expected. I did think, somewhere in that top 15 would be achievable, but definitely higher than where I'd think I'd be at this point.
And we'll skip the bloke in 5th. We'll go to the bloke in 6th. He is absolutely flying for a rookie, sitting in 6th. Darren Walden from Angry Birds in 7th. Yusuf Korafides in 8th, another one of your teammates. Simon Clapham, who didn't get onto the grid. Not sure what the issues were there, but he was in the server. He's in 9th. Darren Freo in 10th. The Leighton Larrikin himself. Jimmy Verme from 1MLT in 11th. Dougie Wright from Old Mates & Sons in 12th. Peter Morris, still driving with some leg issues, in 13th. Darren Friend from Old Mates in 14th. Pete Kelly in 15th. So don't forget Pete Kelly is to race as well. Craig Rose back in 16th. Bourne Robinson 17th. Joseph Grenshaw. Carl Pickering. If you haven't checked out the Pico Industries pre-race and post-race briefs on YouTube, on Facebook, highly recommend you go do that. I do believe Dave Baldock might have been commenting on a few of those over the last week as well. Timmy Hall in 20th. Anita Buckland in 21st. Sean Slater, he's in 22nd. Only got himself to blame for being in 22nd. He had to go to Bathurst. He could have stayed home. He could have raced. Like Pete Wilkerson in 24th. Darren Verme in 23rd. And David Logsdale in 25th. That just shows what consistency does. And we will go back to the grid. And it's probably time we have a bit of look at the qualifying order. Not some muppet, for sure. Dave, oh, Jesus, Bruce. Oh, I'm not going to touch that either. Let's have a look at the grid. We'll bring that up. And, of course, we have on pole position A. Verban from SimRacer HQ with a 150.086. That is a great cracking time. He lines up alongside Michael Hayes' protege, Yusuf Korafides from Unhinged Sim Sports. On the second row, we have Steve Williams from DPR Motorsports lining up alongside X2 Reality Racing's Rob Baxter. That is great to see Rob on the second row. Pete Kelly from Team VJA in fifth lines up alongside Carl Pickering from Pico Industries. That is another one that is awesome to see. Michael Hayes in seventh from Unhinged Sim Sports. Another one that's awesome to see. Kevin O'Neill lines up on the fourth row alongside him from We Race. Another great one to see. Pete Boris from Fishing Motorsports heads to fifth row alongside Robbie Williams from Player One, who's there to entertain us. On the sixth row, Craig Race from Quantum Racing. Great result from Rosie. There is some great stuff going on here. And then, of course, on the seventh row, we've got Bruce Galloway from W2 Motorsports and Simon Black from Oceanic Sim Racing. And then on the eighth row, Sean Slater from HJR, Tim G. Kinks Shifters, lining up alongside Darren Friend from W2 Motorsports. On the ninth row, Craig Sholton from Mustangs North Queensland lines up alongside Darren Friend from Old Mates and Sons. On the 10th row is David Baldock. Why is he so far back? Who knows? He might let us know in the chat. He lines up alongside Dougie Wright from Old Mates and Sons. And then on the 11th row is Vaughan Robinson from Southern Cross Sim Racing. And then he lines up alongside Anita Buckman from Old Mates and Sons. On the 12th row is Darren Walden from Angry Birds Racing. He lines up alongside Peter Wilkinson from Locked On Racing. Pete feeling the effects of Bathurst, I think, sitting so far back. And then we, of course, go to the 13th row with Timmy Hall from Player One, lining up alongside Shane Patterson from WKNP. And then we go over the page to the 14th row for Timmy Vermey from 1MLT, lining up alongside Mr. Consistent David Logsdale from Team AJR. On the 15th row is Ashley Hall from Quantum Racing, lining up alongside Brendan McLean from BMAC Racing. And then, of course, on the 16th row is Dale Harvey, and he is the last person to set a time for us. And then, of course, Thomas Freeman is the legendary Scops Pro Series, you name it, echelon driver in our safety car. Jamie Dyke is the Mr. Sir of the league. And, of course, we had the chief fish himself, Michael Whiting, dropped into the Split 4 server. I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know. I am putting it out to David Coleman, of course, the person in charge of our race control and stewardship. There is a story that if you do enter the wrong server, that you can be disqualified. So I'm hoping Michael Whiting may or may not have been disqualified from Split 1 for coming into Split 4. I'm just waiting for confirmation on that. Dave Coleman, of course, is the chief steward for the series, chief steward for Split 4. And, of course, that cost me $60 and 2 beers to get him down here, but Jesus made a difference. And then Simon Clapham didn't set a time and didn't take the grid. So that's a bit of an interesting one as well. And a couple of things in the chat. Lavola Tube, you better beat Bulldog tonight. Head start, the big call. Will Wilson saw Nick from the crowd. He's talking about Bulldog, of course. I thought they were going to be passworded. Yeah, servers were going to be passworded. That was the plan. We thought we could do that, but when we started playing with leagues, passwords were not available, unfortunately. So that is an issue in there. Will Wilson saying that he ate too much caviar on the jet, so he's talking about Bulldog again, of course. Abel drops in, radio controls straight to Split 3. Okay, a few chats there. Anyway, let's get cracking here, boys. Any thoughts on the grid?
Well, you've had a good round this week, Johnny. You've got pretty high up on the list in 11th place, so that was a good run for you.
Luke, that's all I'm saying. I'm out of position. way out of position. I should be back with Baldock. Baldock should be where I am. That's what I'm saying. No, look, I had a good run, and we'll see what happens to me in the first couple of laps. Sarge is in the chat as well. I said, Forge Sarge, big shout out to him. Hope your legs and stuff are getting better, mate, from your blood clots, etc. Great qualifying from him as well. I do believe the Fishy boys have been working pretty hard to try and stick him in between me and Baldock. That's the story I'm hearing. Anyway, we'll get to that one. Do you reckon we got a week on this, lads?
That's
I
good.
think so. Can you see if Mr. Rob Baxter can get away clean?
We'll talk about Mr. Baxter. Mr. Baxter, in character. Yeah, let's just do a sound check. And let's get started. Let's light the wick on it. And get the cheat sheet up. Most important part. Couple quick tabs. Righto, let's get rocking and rolling. All those out there in the chat, let us know who you think will win out of Baldock Van Ree. No, seriously, no, who's going to win Split 4? Let us know. Get involved in the chat. Plenty to talk about. Some interesting sup-regs out if you haven't read them. And, of course, we are racing here at 3:30 in the afternoon. This is one of the firsts for vets as well. So, interesting to get some feedback what you all thought about racing on a 35-degree surface with a 23 or 24-degree day around. So, let us know what you think. Anyway, let's get started. Let's light the wick. Okay, I've been sitting here for a little bit. Longer than I thought. It's starting to rev up. Oh, no. God damn it. And we're about to get rocking and rolling. We're going to drop down onto my good friend Darren Freer here. Going to drop on the grid. So a few boys a little bit slow off the start. Pete Morris. Past there, Darren. Greg Shelton gets a good start. You can see the boys up front. Steve Williams, Abel Verban, Rob Baxter is in the mix there as well. But there is a couple of hits already. It got very ugly down the back here. More hits than you can poke a stick at. But Abel Verban has managed to get himself through quite well. And just going to go a little bit further back. Someone's up 2 spots in the top 10. Look at this. Where are you, Baldock? Come, buddy. Where are you?
Nice.
Here we go.
Galloway got a great start.
Yeah, Galloway got a good start as well. Here we go.
I'm so glad I decided to have a season off race control.
Let's have a crack here, Pico. Here we go. Can I get myself on the debrief? Keep pushing the lad here. All about me at the moment. Up over the hill. And, oh, she snaps. Exit stage right.
Struggling with the air that high up the list, Johnny?
Yeah, pretty much. But Abel has definitely got himself a way to a great start. I want it noted, Baldock didn't pass me at that stage.
Marty's up 19. He's doing well.
Did you see what happened in front of him?
Marty, he had everything happening in front of him.
Pick your way through that. That's pretty good.
So I think I see a lot of not holding brakes in turn 1.
There was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Sean Slater, V8s don't have cold tyres in iRacing. Thank you very much.
I think I suffered, Sean, from altitude sickness. I'll go with that. The rarefied air up there was too thin. As you said, putting a bit of pressure on Stephen Williams already. A few battles all the way up and down the grid here. Kevin O'Neill. Simon Black's up 3. Bruce Galloway is up 8. That is a great start from him. He's under a bit of pressure though. Oh.
So, John, just noticing chat's mentioning the broadcast looks a little bit dark, but I noticed the taillights are looking quite bright, so I'm guessing there's a lot of cloud cover, which would be something new for vets.
Yeah, no, it's a standard, a little bit more cloud cover than we're used to, so it's not your standard partial cloud cover that we've been operating. So it was, cloud cover was up to, I think, 48% or 49%. So it gets a little bit darker. There was times that we had bright sunshine, times that we were going to be in the dark.
Yeah.
And it's getting on to mid to late afternoon, so it's a little bit different in that sense. Matty Brunt's joined us. How are you, Matty? Hey, Matty, how are you? Mr. SSR himself. Not sure if his mic's working. But he's come and joined us. So Bruce Galloway here, he's under a fair bit of pressure from Pete Kelly from BJA Gaming. So Pete doing a cracking job. Going to go up and down a little bit. Marty Hughes is working his way. He's got himself past Dougie Wright. So a few battles. So Dougie Wright just in front of Baldock. Baldock putting the pressure on Dougie. There's a few battles everywhere at the moment. We're only on lap 3. The race pretty much settled pretty quickly, I thought. And when you sort of looked at the race control sheets and looked at everything else, it's pretty much the skirmish in lap 1, and then everyone just settled straight in. I definitely can't complain about that.
Yeah, this little pack that we're watching now, sitting just behind them and watching them tussle corner after corner was a little unnerving at times.
Yeah. Sorry, just playing catch up on a message from a teammate. Anyway, yeah, so definitely battling away very much so. So Sean Slater's worked himself up 3. Blackie's worked himself up 3. We talk at the championship situation here, and these guys are definitely a little bit behind the 8 ball. Got a bit of work to do. Robbie Williams, he's up in front of these guys. He's in 10th, holding his position, and he's entertaining us for player 1 very much so. So is Pete Baxter. He hasn't lost. Sorry, Pete Morris. He hasn't lost the spot either. So Petey Morris, Sarge is absolutely rocking here. He is doing quite well. Will Wilson, afternoon race, sun is going down a bit. Yep, and partly cloudy. That is what's going on. As we jump up with Rob Baxter, he's under a fair bit of stick from Bruce Galloway. Bruce Galloway having a major look at the back of this Reality DX2 entry. So Portimão, Algarve circuit, absolute cracker. There's the hotel on the left there. Head down into the Vips chicane. Sorry, Vips hairpin. Get it right, John. And then we head up the hill, past the hotel, and come up around, swing into Samsung. A little bit of a rise over the crest. Brucey Galloway, have a good look at it. And of course, Steve Williams in front of this, absolutely switching as well. And then we head up into the Portimão corner. Many, many different lines can be taken through here. Baxter gets a little bit loose. Pulls it up, gets it under control. Galloway has another sneaky look. And then we come up into turn 13. And then we come back down into Sagres. The reverse Canberra. This caught so many people out. Such a difficult corner. And definitely come across the ridge here. Some people don't brake, some people tap the brakes. It makes it really interesting. Got to really hug the curb. There's an apex back there, Rob. Might help you. Let's see what Brucey can do. He's got to run. Not much drag though in these Gen 3 cars. It's a look up the inside. Well done, Galloway. Can you hang on to it? W2 Motorsports. Great stuff. And for those playing along at home, I just had a cat jump across my arms as I'm trying to steer at this stage. And the cat thought, yeah, I'll snuggle in and be comfortable. And at this stage, it realised my arms kept moving. And at this stage, my arms weren't moving very well. Got control of it. Dougie had a look.
Oh,
And that is the result of that. That was not fantastic at all. So apologies to everybody else involved. But that bloody cat. Babysitting the in-laws cat at the moment.
So hard not to make a joke.
I know. You've done well.
You could say it's related to a Austin Powers movie.
Yep. Pussy galore.
Yep.
Let's go. Rob Baxter, like, seriously, this guy is coming out of the shell of his brother. He's absolutely driving me out of his skin here in fifth. He has knocked on that door of promotion, and I reckon this could be his season. He's been consistent-ish, or consistent enough running around in that top 10. Cost you an off-track. Cost me a lot more than that, Baldock. Don't you worry about that.
at least cost you bragging rights because you're in front of Bulldog up till then.
Yeah, I know. Here we go, Baxter!
Why is there a car park at the end of the pit strip?
It's called trying to exit pits without knowing how to exit pits.
It's one way to exit the pits quickly.
Can you do me a favour, Bruce?
Sure.
I reckon you could go throw up my vet's practice surfer.
Yeah, sure. No worries. Give me a sec.
Thanks, mate. I know Stewie's away for the weekend and we haven't got a set up from Jamie because he wants to perfect it. Because if you haven't read page 2 of the Suprex, something happened.
I can find a setup somewhere on my machine.
Back to setup, Jamie. You're kidding, aren't you?
Have you read page 2 of the Suprex, Mark?
I have read page 2 of the Supregs, and I still don't think Jamie McKnight can go and get it right. I challenge you, Jamie McKnight. I put you under a challenge to get this week better than the previous, what was it be now, 14 seasons?
You say that, Mark, but there are a lot of people that do lucky sets.
Well, a lot of people drive like shit then, Jamie McKnight, like Jamie McKnight.
Weren't you in charge with Benny at the time when you got Jamie involved to do the sets? That was a question asked. That was a question asked. That was a question asked to me. That was sent to me in a message.
Yeah, biggest regret of my life was putting him in charge of that.
Stevie Williams, he has got in front of Galloway. He has moved forward. And we are up to lap 7. I'm going to go a little bit further back.
Ooh.
That was lucky.
Very
A
lucky.
little bit tight.
Go a little bit further back. Have a look at Brendan McLean, one of the rookies in the league. And Brendan, of course,
Up 8.
he is doing very well, up 8 spots. And driven fairly well. He's got himself ahead of Ashley Hall, just chasing Anita in front of him. Some other Muppet a bit further back there, down 13 spots. Not going to talk about him. Cat has left the room at this stage. And going a little bit wide. Self back under control. Easy to do there.
So is Marty still moving forward?
Marty Hughes, is that who you're asking? Marty Hughes, I think at this stage has dropped out. I think he had a disco. Or sorry, it might have been a he had internet issues and I think he got sent back to pits.
Yep.
That sucks.
He'd be shattered over that. He was a long way up from where he started.
Yeah, he was doing very well. Hey, Stevie Williams. He is going to be one of the early ones to dive into the lane. I thought this was interesting on lap 8.
That's real early, isn't it?
Yeah. Of course, this allows somebody to move up into 5th. There's a bit rare up there, so he's doing all right. How are you feeling at this stage, Michael?
I was just trying to look after the tyres. I knew that Rob was making ground on me, and as soon as he pushed the point, I was happy to let him have it. If anything, I was surprised that Pico was tucked in there and wasn't letting me go too, so it was good to see him up the front.
Pico's done very well here. What? Just saying, after last week's efforts, we didn't get a post-race debrief within the 15-20 minutes after the race. Just saying, very disappointed. But this week we did, so I think Pico was pretty happy with his efforts this week.
Yeah, no, he was doing really well.
Here comes Blackie, having a look at the fish. Well, Simon sends his apologies tonight. He was in with us last week, and he's the chief race control over at the GT, over the GT Pro Series tonight. They've got their 5th round, so Simon's over there working on that one. So he sends his apologies for not being with us. He had a ball last week. Let's just say the conversation continued to 1:45 in the morning.
I thought it was going to.
Yeah, it did. And Friendy under a bit of pressure here. Sorry, Friendy putting a bit of pressure on.
He's definitely found some pace, Darren.
Pico is in the chat. Yes, Pico, I wanted to hear you debrief last week. I wanted to feel the passion. I wanted to hear whether it sounded the same as Bulldog with his 14 frames per second. Sorry, 15 frames per second. Well, should be 50 plus temperature, Luke Allman. You are crazier than me, Luke. That's all I'm gonna say. They wouldn't let me do that.
Well, you'll be driving it on your own, Luke. Because I can guarantee you right now, Jamie will not make a setup for that temperature. That's too hot for Jamie.
Did well to get this one, to be honest.
21's too hot for Jamie.
Funny little bloke, if he starts to sweat, he'll fade away like the witch in Wizard of Oz. But I'm showing my age now.
Would that be a bad thing?
Yeah, now. Try again. Hey, up here. You stay there, and I should have enough hands to do what I've got to do. There's a few battles. Bruce is up 10 spots in 3rd. That is a great effort. I reckon Will Wilson, W2 himself, would be chuffed. Reckon there'll be a fair bit of work going on from his spotter here, letting him know what Kelly's doing behind. Tough gig. These boys doing very, very well. I've got to say, and talking with Coleman after the race, that, yeah, we had a few indiscretions early on, and after that, it all settled down really, really well. So, very good, clean racing last night. As Baxter makes the move on Hayes. Hazy, one job. And Gillette Carl through as well.
Well, Rob
Two.
came back across and sort of had a moment, so I didn't want to take him out.
The good old 2 for 1.
Yeah. had a choice of smashing to the back of Rob or backing out, and I had no choice but to back out.
Yeah, it's Rob. So, Slater now putting pressure on Robbie Williams. This could get entertaining. I reckon the kid's all right.
Yeah, Sean's car's starting to move around a little bit. Bit twitchy in the front.
Of course. Williams driving like an angel here.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm out of songs.
I actually like how well Craig Rose has been doing this season. He's been on the higher end of the scale most of the season, so it's been good to see.
Lucky sneaking in for the undercut as well. No, Rosie's done really well. He's really been one of the big improvers.
Yep.
There's Kevin O'Neill. Kevin has had to step up out of the shadows of KO, with KO leaving up the split 3, and he's done a pretty good job as well.
Yeah. That paint job on Kevin's car looks really good. They've done a good job of that.
They have. I wonder who did that one for him.
Is that one of yours, is it, Johnny?
Nah, not one of mine. I was thinking it was one of yours. They've done a good job, Kevin and KO, of course. So basically, we race, just the two of them. And they have done a cracking job over the last 2 seasons. I'm lucky enough to meet KO the other week when I was up in Brizzy, when I caught up with yourself, Michael, and about 12 others. Yeah, KO drove down from the Sunshine Coast for that one. Absolute cracking gentleman.
It's definitely a good night.
And of course, Michael Stewart's trying to organise another catch-up for the Queensland boys. So I know we're getting closer to Christmas and it's getting harder and harder to fit things in. But if you are free, jump on the Bris Vegas chat from Brisbane. If you're not in that chat, let me know. I'll get you into that chat. But Stewie's trying to organise a catch-up on the Sunshine Coast. I think it's south half the Sunshine Coast. Not far up the road, as I found out the other day when I was up there, when I went to Noosa. Yeah, it's something, again, well worth catching up with people, getting involved. If you're in passing around or travelling around a major area, let people know you're there. It's always awesome to catch up. They even had the great Darren Crosby in Albury this last weekend. And for the guys in Adelaide, the 6th of December, I think, is the Saturday. I hope I've got that right. Keep an eye on that. I'm about to drop in the South Australia chat. Once we've got a room booked or something booked, I'm about to drop in that chat. Catch up dinner on a Saturday night. I'll be over there myself, spending a bit of time with my good friend, Mr. Josh Drage. Catching up with Dragey, and yeah, we'll catch up with everybody for dinner that night as well. So if you're not in the South Australia chat, sing out, let me know. I'll drop you in there. But yeah, definitely plenty happening. Invitations open, of course, to people outside South Australia that want to travel over as well. I highly recommend, guys, if you do see stuff being going around, get involved, have some fun.
I've got to say, well done, Peter Wilkinson. That was pass of the century. Set it up.
Dave still hasn't given up, though. He's still looking.
Nah, Baldy talked up a big battle there with Pete. He was pretty happy to be running around Pete. Like, oh, I've got Wilco around me. Oh, it's Wilco. Wilco's so fast. Wilco's like in the top whatever. It's like, I didn't say it, but it's like, Baldy, aren't you in the top 5 of the championship at the moment?
Last week he's not, though, is he?
No, still is.
Oh, that's right. I jumped him and took his 4th spot off him.
Yeah. He's still around. When am I coming to Tassie? I will be at Tassie at some stage, Luke. Put it in 26. I will get back down that part of the world at some stage. Have been down there before. I've got to say, Bruni Island is one of my favourite places in the world. Absolutely loved it. Big fan of Tassie. We'll get down there at some stage again. As everyone started to split out a little bit. Abe Verbain is 11 seconds up the road from Pete Kelly here. That is pretty impressive before we get to the first round of pit stops. That's all I'm going to say with that one. He is driving really, really well in the Sim Racer HQ entry. Just going to do...
Anyone that hasn't pitted so far must be pretty close to running out, being lap 13.
Going to do something before I forget. Yeah, we're getting towards the end, the start of the first stops. So it's a couple earlier guys. It's like Slater and Sholton are in at the moment. Lucky's been in. And... not how I do that. Get this right in a minute. Sorry, I'm just double dipping here, guys.
Leader's in.
Yeah, he's in. Let's see what Kelly does. Bruce, you're very quiet.
And the answer to that is, how many times do you think we've been to Belle Isle?
Well, we go every second season. But I'm looking through all the old setups and I can't find one.
Yeah, we haven't been there in the Gen 3.
Yeah, we're only a few rounds into this car. A few seasons into this car.
4 seasons. This is the 4th season, so it should have already been there twice, but anyway.
There you go, Joseph. I've added you into that group, mate. It's done. Yeah, we haven't been there for a fair while, and everybody is in. Kevin O'Neill has stayed. He's still out, and he's our race leader. Kevin going for the sneaky points for leading a race. Shane Patterson, Bucko, I know will be at Sandown. I'm humming and hawing at the moment. I've just got to see if I can make stuff work. But I know Pato is definitely there. I've seen the ticket. And O'Neill Williams has stayed out as well. Sorry, Williams has stopped already. So Williams is the leader of our stoppers. Darren Walden stays out. Stevie Williams looks like taking the lead. Abel is back. Abel had a 48-second stop, so I think Abel has filled it up to the brim. And I'm just going to go up to Stevie Williams. He only put 23 seconds in, so I'm just going to turn on the pit stop times. Everyone can see what they are. There we go. So Stevie Williams stopped for 23 seconds, and we go down to Abel, who was leading before. He's 48 seconds, so it's going to get interesting when we get to the next stop. And definitely...
I was going to let Abel go, and then I remembered I was racing for position, so I went, well, I'll just stay in the way for as long as I can and cover my corners and hope for the best. He's definitely been super quick this season.
I've just been given a private message. I'm not going to say who it's from. But basically, I've just been told that going to Tasmania to catch up with Luke will be like being in the movie Misery. Don't go.
I know who that comes from.
I'm suspecting a teammate.
This is Abel Verban's coach. Verban, whoever's coaching Abel. Pete Kelly, you need to drop into New South Wales chat. We haven't got one really going at the moment. I've done one for a while in that part of the world. Definitely we'll get something up there at some stage. I know it will be up that way just before Easter. That is locked in because I'm going to the 6 hour. I've got work to do. Back in a refueling team. Nothing like the old days, though, when you used to run out to a running car. They turn the cars off now at the 6 hour for refueling. Not quite the same. Yusuf here sitting in third. Kelly in front of him. Williams up the road, but Williams done the short fill. So we'll see how that plays out. Everyone has really spread out here on lap 15. Nothing wrong with me. That's what Kathy Bates said in Misery. No, just joking. There's Brett Fish. Mudgee, I may have to do an audit with work in 26 if things come off. I may go to Mudgee to do that audit. So we'll try and get around and catch up with a few more people. That is my aim. That was my aim working this year, was to try and get around, see as many people as I can in the league. This league is fantastic. And I think when you start putting faces to names and faces to voices, it really makes a difference. And you'd have to agree with that. Where is Rosie going? You would have to agree with that, wouldn't you? Kelly just sets the fastest lap. You have to agree with that too, wouldn't you, Michael, after coming to the Morrison Hotel?
Yeah, it definitely gives you some insight into who everyone is, opposed to just a voice on the other side of a Discord.
Yeah, it does.
People open up a little bit more, and yeah, you get a good feel for what equipment they're running and what they do outside of racing.
Yeah, definitely, and you definitely get a great feel for, you know, like we all, particularly the older members, a bit harder now with 200, group of 200, but we used to all sit around and yap for hours and hours and hours when we used to all race in the one Discord. You know, so we've all heard a lot of life stories, and it's just great when you start putting faces to names and, you know, showing the appreciation for the respect we all have for each other. And I think that respect then rolls out onto the track as well.
And you see that Rob Baxter's about 6.5 foot tall, so
Yep.
you're less cheeky to him face to face than on the other side of a mic.
Yeah, exactly.
Slightly.
Bulldog here having a good look as he battles with Wright and Friend in front of him. Rose and Friend in front of him, sorry. Rose, Wright, Bulldog. We'll get that right in a minute. Friendy's up the road. Just that one. We'll go back to Gap. That's better. Pulse one on, I think. Buttons left, right, and centre. I have really just made a mess of that.
Lots of numbers.
Why is that going back to where it's supposed to be? That's it. Bulldog is 6'5" too, I hear. I heard. Yeah.
That photoshopped his photos then made him about a foot shorter.
Yeah, it's a matchstick. Baldy, absolute legend. Looking forward to December, catching up with Baldy himself. The Haynes, new recruit, the WKMP. Nearly had to laugh because I've got Drage, Haynes and Bulldog all live basically in neighbouring suburbs. Very close to each other.
Would that be anything to do with the new recruit poster that come out the other day? WKMP?
Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I'd be very worried if I was him. What does he want me to do? Get better drivers? Where's it going to leave him? Got to make room for others.
Yeah, you do.
How long are you?
He's only half WKMP too, isn't he, really?
Oh, no, haven't you looked? Hang on, let's go to him. There's been a big change this season. This is the thing. He beat me. So he is now WKMP Dave 37 Racing. And if he beats me this season, he's just WKMP. Got to motivate him somehow.
Yeah, true.
Lucky's on the move. He's up to 6. Got himself past Abel. What are you saying to the prodigy at the moment, Leaky boy? What are you saying? He's down, don't break. Get him. And Yusuf's on the move as well. He's got himself alongside Stevie Williams. That's all happening at the moment. Starting to see a little bit of action.
Yeah, I think that early pit stop at Steve Williams.
I think it did. Of course, Steve went in on lap 7. Everyone else on lap 12 and 13. Robbie Baxter sniffing around the back here as well. Oh, that's allowed Baxter through.
He's definitely struggling on those tyres. Probably more than I expect. For I know they're 10 laps old, but ours at 13 laps didn't feel that bad.
Here we go. Sean Slater is feeling weird at this part of the race. Kind of no man's land. Had Darren with him, but the others were all out miles away. Yeah, it was pretty much like that. We've dropped back to Slats. Slats has got Prendy a second behind him.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin 11 seconds up the road.
Yeah.
Oh, now I thought at this stage I had 4 seconds up the road, 4 seconds behind. Everyone kind of spread out, and I sort of remember looking at the leaderboard, going, this is interesting. Everyone has spread, and I know there was a variation between pit stops because a few people were 49 seconds, some were into the 20 seconds, and so I knew there was a mix. So it was a case of the second stop will cleanse the field, and that's all you can do is like look after the tyres, look after the car, try and set good pace, get in the flow and in the rhythm, as Baldock kept trying to tell me to do, and then go from there. Apparently this place is like Phillip Island. That's all I get. That's all he kept saying to me. This is like Phillip Island. I've got the flow. This is great.
I can see similarities, but it's definitely not Phillip Island.
Yeah.
Another motorbike track. So, notice to you, Bruce, next season, no motorbike tracks.
Yes.
Season's already locked.
Yeah, it's the official season. Yeah, season's already locked. It's hard to believe that we are coming up to Belle Isle, round 5. And for those playing along at home, I'm already... Season's locked, of course, with the officials. But we have the short break between seasons coming up because of Christmas. Try and do the 2 weeks off over the Christmas gap, so that means we have the short break. Yeah, so what I'd probably say is season 5, season 6. Sorry, round 5 is next week. Round 6 will be the week after. Sorry, yeah, round 6 the week after. And entries will probably open fairly early so that we can manoeuvre quickly. Like I said, I'm going away for a long weekend to Adelaide, 4-day weekend to Adelaide. So we will definitely be opening entries up fairly early for season 26. This rate, we're going to catch OSR Dev.
Yeah.
So,
the official tracks should be here okay now, so my volume up in the rig. This is the official, not necessarily vets. So we kick off with Phillip Island.
slow down. Wait, give me 2 seconds. Let me just bring something up, Bruce, and I'll tell you exactly where we match in.
Yeah. So for the officials now, while you're bringing that up, John, we now have moved to a fixed rotation. So Bathurst and Phillip Island alternate every season.
Yep.
So one or the other. And then we add one of the 3, what I call second tier Aussie circuits, so the Bend or somewhere else. It's currently escaping my brain.
So week 1 is, what did you say?
So we kick off with Phillip Island. Then
That is week Island is Vets.
Yep. So it's the Bend. Then there's Alton Park circuit. No chicanes for the officials.
Those two are off.
That'll be a sub for
So
Vets.
we don't do the Bend. We don't do week 2. We don't do week 3. Yep. Next one.
Week 4 is Watkins Glen International Cup.
Yep.
It's followed by Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, the Grand Prix layout with the massive chicanes that everyone loves from last week in sports.
Yep.
Then we go back to Mosport. Crowd favourite. Then another one that got voted in is back to the Legacy Silverstone 2008 Historical Grand Prix layout.
Oh, I remember that one. I remember Sean Slater coming down through the old part of the circuit going sideways there. Love it.
That's that one. Then off to a few Grand Prix tracks in this one. Sebring International in the morning, and then Suzuka Grand Prix, the Grand Prix layouts. Then Hungaroring, the official calendar then finishes off with Circuit Gilles Villeneuve to line up with Scops, and then Winton is the last round.
There we go to Villeneuve and Winton. There we go.
Yeah, 41 laps of Winton.
So we start at Phillip Island. And what was week 4?
Watkins Glen Cup.
Watkins Cup, yep.
And Barcelona, Mosport.
Barcelona, which one are we doing there? GP?
Yep.
And
The
then
league admin multitasking with the broadcast. Speaking of multitasking, Simon Black will be multitasking to keep that car behind him right now.
he would be.
He's doing a really good job keeping him there, isn't he?
Oh, he is. This is like just hold there. Well, this is I'm pretty sure it's a team trait, right? The Coral left some master for his line. He's going right where you don't want him to.
And
Go collect it. After that, we've got Mosport. We've got Legacy Silverstone.
what was that? What was after Barcelona?
After Barcelona is Canadian Mosport.
Passport, yep.
Oh, he's thinking about a move. Thinking about here he goes. He can as a look. Simon's not two through the kick. Oh, Simon's a bit wide. This could be a. Oh, he's lost it. Oh.
So I'm going to throw it out here. I'm going to be really, really democratic. Let's put it all the way out there. And of course, which one do you want to be the Enduro, boys?
Winton.
Winton, yeah.
Two cars with the driver swap.
Yeah. Yeah, I vote that Bruce doesn't get a vote.
Yeah.
Hey, hang on. Production cars too, the Winton 300. Not out of the question.
Yeah, they do. To be honest, I reckon what could be an interesting Enduro would be something that would be well suited for it. It's one of the Grand Prix tracks that don't normally do Enduros on. Maybe Suzuka, because there is a Suzuka Sarah Tornado.
Yep.
That could be a good one. Sebring's an obvious choice. Being an actual Enduro track. Or even Silverstone. Or, yeah.
It'll be interesting to be thought of. Well, I have some work to do.
An S track. Silverstone, Sebring, or Suzuka.
Yep.
I think Phillip Island should be wet.
Well, if you
Get
talk
plenty of rain down there.
if you talk to Bob, it rains, and then the sun comes out, and then the wind blows, and then it rains again.
Alright, here we go. He's going to have a look this time. Start finish straight. Is he going to line it up? Oh, the sun's a little bit. The tiny wide. Okay. So right on the balance there. Here we go. Let's have a look. He's got the overlap. He's done it. First of full throttle against the chocolates. Turn one. Can you keep it tight? Nope. Runs it off track.
Got it done.
Yep.
Abe has done well. Let's change the camera back.
Meanwhile, up ahead.
Yusuf.
Oh.
What
That's
was
not a way to look after the rear tyre.
that is not a great way to look after the rear tyres. Gets it back under control though. Nose down, work forward. Pete Kelly leading this race though. Will Wilson has asked you to tell a joke, Bruce.
Ask me to tell a joke. Man can only do so many things at once.
He's done well. He's just saved me about an hour worth of work. I'm thinking what to do. In terms of our season next, the 26th. Anyway, we'll keep on cracking here. We are on lap 24. It is all happening. These guys are going to start thinking about their second stops very shortly.
Yeah, Steve Williams only did a short fill too, didn't he? So
He did,
can't
yeah.
have too much fuel left.
He'd have to be running low about now. So you're basically looking, you split the race, you would have gone 13 and 28. That's splitting it. So to go 7 is really early. He's only gone for 23 seconds, so it was a short stop. I have to agree with you, Jim. This is probably one of the most technical tracks we race at, particularly with the undulations and the changes of cambers and corners. It was
I'm
very...
talking about Washington.
No, talking about this track. Might have to do that.
Luke?
Might have to do that as an off-season, I reckon. Or we might have to set a prize and whoever gets the best time at Washington.
Luke, if John takes your suggestion on board, you are seriously out of the league. Because
Yeah.
you cannot have a wet enduro and one set of tyres at Winton.
Well, wet and one set of tyres you could easily do. They talking 300 Ks. And yes, it has rained at Winton, but I don't think Luke's really looked at the long-term forecast for northeast Victoria at the moment. Northeast Victoria at the moment is in drought conditions, so I can't see it being wet,
No.
particularly in January, February. You could probably maybe put fog, call it smoke. That might be a bit more accurate.
And we're not expecting any new tracks to substitute out at the end of the season?
There's rumours that Katayama's coming, but I don't know when. That's probably the only other track that I've heard. I don't know if you've heard of any, Bruce. That's the only track I've heard that's in the pipeline somewhere.
I think what's interesting is go have a look at what new tracks are in iRacing Arcade that aren't in iRacing. That could be a pointer.
I haven't really looked at that. Katayama's in that, isn't it?
I think it is. And Paul Ricard.
I know Paul Ricard was skiing last year, so that wouldn't be surprised if that rocks in very shortly.
That'd be great.
That'd be good, actually. Particularly if they give you the, 10 options. We could really come up with some good Gen 3 layouts without having to do every piddly little chicane. Abe now is putting a lot of pressure on Mr. Galloway. Are we going to do Nürburgring at some stage, at some point? I'm going to put it out this way to you, Kevin. And, of course, being one of the newer guys in the league, probably don't know too much about the great Gunther von Nordschleife, but I do believe he's slowly in the process of putting his rig back together. And I think maybe season 27, maybe 26 we might see him. But I think season 27, if he's definitely back, we have to go to his birthright country. Of course, the place where the great Gunther von Nordschleife won the 1969 World Touring Car Championship representing East Germany. We definitely will go back there. So I'm going to put it on Gunther, and actually I'm going to throw it out on the other guy who turned it into one of the most enjoyable experiences when we raced there for the first time. Scott Van Loon. If you can get Scott Van Loon and David Worrell back in the sim, we'll go to Nordschleife. There you go. Challenge for everybody.
Yeah, I'd do a +1 for Nordschleife.
I'll never forget Scotty Van Loon's first season in vets. Absolute one of the most nervous starters you'll ever come across. It was the first time we rocked up to Nordschleife, and it was kind of a, oh, we'll only do this as a one-off, this is a giggle. And Scotty being the nervous starter, and I said to Dave, because Dave, a bit of a comedian, said to him, what's your best German sex pest voice? Oh, big move here. Yusuf getting past Baxter, being held up by a slower lap car there. And I said to Worrell, I said, okay, you love putting voices on. Give us your best German sex pest and give a shout out to Scotty. So we did it with about 30 seconds to go on the grid. Scotty was too busy laughing, he missed the start. So yeah, that was where Gunther van Nordschleife was born. It was out of being a German sex pest to upset Scotty Van Loon starting. Bit of vets knowledge for you. Is Scotty coming back to race? Yes, I believe he is. I was talking to Scotty 2 weeks ago. His rig is just about put back together. Yeah, so hopefully he will be back in the sim shortly. I think he's gearing himself up for next season. Pico, he's up into 9th. Have to check out this on the debrief. He is tucked up behind Hazy. Tell you what, there might be some cursing about that. Lap 27 here. These boys have got to start coming in for that second stop.
Yeah, I had a bit of a longer stop, so I did have some fuel tucked away.
Yeah, you got to be careful though. You got the fuel tucked away, but you got to be careful that you're not rocking yourself out in the sense that your tyre wears too much.
Yeah, well, my thought at this point was how many laps can I save on the last set of tyres?
A great little battle up here. Did you save much though?
It was an interesting later part of the race.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on that.
So Steve Williams still hasn't gone in for his second stop on that short. He must be one hell of a fuel saver.
It comes out of the DPR stable, so I know there's some quality drivers in there. So maybe being coached fairly well. Probably Baxter and P2. Need to have a serious chat to Pete about that.
While these three are battling on, Abel's just slowly clawing back the distance between him and these three.
We'll spin over the hill.
So at this point, these tyres are 20 laps old for Steve.
Doing well. Doing very, very well. Let's Dougie right, Anita buckling in. Rob Baxter going the undercut. There's Stevie Williams. So two of them rolling into the lane. Allow Mr. Verban to go past. No safety cars yet. This has been a very good drive.
I thought all safety cars got banned after my efforts last week.
I thought. No comment.
No comment do you like? Throw the shade, I don't care.
Kelly's nice and comfortable, 8 seconds in front of everyone else.
Yeah, looking very balanced. Well, he runs in for 27 seconds, so there's 4 seconds difference in the stop though for Yusuf, so Yusuf should close that gap. Abel though was 48 seconds, so there is a big difference. 20-second difference between Abel and Pete. Need to keep an eye on that. So definitely starting to get a bit interesting. Still tucked up behind Simon Black is Michael Hayes. A few little battles going on.
Yeah, Simon started moving around a fair bit at this point, and
He's in the lane.
then tucked in.
Yeah. Simon dives down the lane. Michael Hayes.
Serious conversations about when we're pitting at this point.
Well, like I said, 28 was the equal split, so we're past that now. And really, any time now is the time to pit. It's a case whether you want to try an undercut or an overcut. That's the question being asked. Gorman, I hope Abel remembers TCPS. I hope he does too, Abe. Do, Luke. Bit embarrassing if he doesn't as the coach. Blackie in, Steve Williams of course went in, he's pitted on lap 7, he pitted on lap 28, which was that split, so he's kind of done that okay, sitting in 13th. Everyone in front of him still needs to stop, so we'll see how that rolls out as we tick on to lap 30. A few boys still plugging along. A couple of guys a lap down as well. Up on Anita. Anita's in 23rd. She's up down a spot. She's had a bit of a battle. She got caught up in a few things in that lap 1 incident.
She just pitted then, so too, didn't she?
As well, yeah. And of course, we lost Shane Patterson in that lap 1 incident as well. But the chaos of turn 1 and 2 has got too much for him. And he's been having issues with screens all night, so yeah.
Hopefully he can get sorted and get back to his form that he had at one stage.
Yeah, hopefully. Working hard on it. The pace is there. It just needs a little bit of luck.
Yep.
So Kelly, Hayes, Pickering, O'Neill into the lane. Slats Goes for a drive-by. The Slater. Henry James Racing moves himself up into P5 with a few others into the lane. What does Yusuf Korafides do? What are you saying at this stage to him, Hazy?
When are you planning on pitting? Because we've already gone in.
Fair enough. 31 of 44. Not too many more laps to go.
No. No, once he gets his pit stops right, he'll definitely be at that pointy end, so just trying to help him through that part. He's way quicker than me, so it's the only advice I can really give him.
He's driving
Fuel
well.
in your car and
Driving well. Jump on with Williams and Baxter. These guys have stopped. So Steve starting to run Rob down a little bit here.
that would have got him a 1x or a slowdown.
Well, a couple of guys got in trouble, I noticed last night, with the getting more than 17 incident points. Ban is in. Here we go. We're going to see this unfold. He brings in Galloway. Comes in behind him. Going to go under Grenshaw. Grenshaw is stopped on the track. I think we have a safety car, boys. Looking for Mr. Freeman. He is not out on track yet.
Safety car, hold my beer.
This where we're saying to Yusuf, hurry up and get your fuel.
So, Yusuf, this is the time to come in. What does he do? I so wanted to show that footage last week, Bruce, but I thought I can't do that. I've got to leave that to Andrew to do that. That is one of the best drifts I've ever seen, just to go, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's the same one shouldn't power out of it.
Like that meme where the kid comes out of the driveway, it's going sideways, it's like, yeah, that's going to work. It's like, uh-oh. And what does Yusuf do? Yusuf should be diving in here. Go a little bit further back. We'll watch these guys. If you don't dive in now, there is something wrong. You're playing the where is the safety car game. Safety car's only just rolling out.
Was he out at this point, or
He's out of the lane, I believe. So the safety car is on track. The Korafides, he is about to come around. Going to go with Baxter. Baxter's got Verbain in front of him. No, it's not Verbain. Baxter got McLean in front of him. So got one of the slower rookies.
and so he's backed off and.
Just that little bit.
No,
he's still pushing. Still, no, it's a safe pace we asked for. We don't ask you to be slow.
Yep.
Rob reckons he lost about 13 seconds in this, but I think talking with a few others, I think Brendan's pretty much driven close to the pace that he's been racing at.
Yep.
This is how the chips fall, unfortunately. I think I had someone else hold me up last week in Pato last week. And that was a driver in front of us on the track, so I'm not going to say who it was, but yeah. Just got to remember, guys, when safety car comes out and you're not on the train, just push. Race as you normally would, just don't make a mistake, basically. Safe pace is just not making a mistake, basically what it refers to. Baxter could have pitted just then as well. Has elected to keep coming, bearing in mind that the safety car is already on track. So, safety car's on track, why would you keep coming? That is my next question I would probably ask. Quietly. You'd have to agree with that, boys?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Learning experience for all. Whoop, 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 whoop. Just passed a car and a safety car. Come on, that's a drive-through. Where are you? Where are you, DC? come on. We just saw that. Pico in the background's done the same.
Yeah, I just got clipped there.
Oh.
Straight down the left-hand side of my car.
Now, let's have a quick look at lap 1. Let's have a look at the chopper view. What happened to Mr. Shelton? And that's not the replay I had. What's going on there? Let's try that one. Let's go to that. I'm going to capture that window. Here we go. So Greg got a reasonable start. Comes into turn 1. Look at the car lurking in the background. That's all I'm going to say. It could be a link to what's coming up. Darren Frere gets a bit loose. He's into the side of Friendy. Bounces off Friendy. Bounces into Shelton. Poor old Shelton. He's in trouble here. And Darren Walden, why didn't you hit Bulldog?
He got so lucky, man.
I know.
Darren.
This is just on.
Angry Birds have taught you nothing.
Like Darren, he hits me, but why didn't you hit Bulldog?
Had he got Bulldog, he may have slowed down enough to have
All,
not got hit
all
by
I'm
the
going to
next
say
car.
is, Greg Shelton, you look like Lando at the moment. Just saying that. Just putting my Donald Trump voice on. Lando's a good driver, but he's not Oscar. And you just that move, you just look like Lando. But you're a beautiful person. I got to give up. Let's go to the other one on the replay. This is when the cat jumps on. I have a cat on board at this stage. And it's all good. It's like, yeah, I think you're going to be happy here. My hands have moved a little bit. And my arm's straightened out. And the cat goes, yeah, I'm sick of you moving. That's a great slide. Look at this. Let's just go drifting. Dougie Wright would have to have been impressed with me there. That was a great move. And have a look at that blue car again. That blue car is lurking. So I'm saying all the big accidents tonight link back to this blue car lurking. That is all I'm going to say.
Fair statement.
So Dougie, he has a bit of a look here. I'm already coming in, so it doesn't quite get the overlap. Unfortunately, I've just been tapped.
You may not have given him a car with there, mate.
Oh, it wasn't quite an overlap either. And then I get a second tap, which then finishes me off into poor old Darren. Poor old bloody cat gets thrown off. And was got thrown off halfway in that incident. There was a cat thrown off as well. And Bulldog's going around, and he's complaining to me because he got a 1X. It was my fault.
So he got 2 positions, but he got a 1X.
Yeah, and there was no thanks for that. It was just like, you gave me a 1X.
Take a 1X for 2 spots.
Bloody Bulldog.
At this point, I had to go through the lane and use my fast repair.
Yeah, because you got clipped?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll actually only give you a 5 for that, John, because you missed the clipping point.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take that. Huge thank you, of course, to Mr. Thomas Freeman for driving the RaceKraft simulation safety car for us. Can't drive. I love Bruce. Bruce's comment, John can't drive that well, so that's me. Oh, that is gold.
So on the reset, Galloway's still doing well.
Galloway,
Slater's up there.
Galloway is up 7. He is sitting there in 6th. Simon Black is in 7th. So let's run down the field. Pete Kelly is in first. A. Burbain is in. Let me check my laps here. Make sure I don't run myself out. The safety car's about to come in. So Yusuf Cotterliff is in 3rd. Rob Baxter is 4th. Stevie Williams is 5th. Up 7 spots. Bruce Galloway up 7 spots. Simon Black. Carl Pickering in 8th. Shawnee Slater is up 6 spots in 9th. Pete Morris down 1 in 10th. Kevin O'Neill in 13th. Craigie Rose holding where he started in 12th. Darren Friend in up 5 in 13. Bulldog up 5 in 14. Come on, guys. Dougie Wright up 5 in 15th. Anita Buckland up 6 in 16. Robbie Williams is entertaining in 17th. Timmy Vermey is up 9 in 18th. Pete Wilkinson is up 5 in 19th. Michael Hayes is down 13 in 20th. That rounds out the top 20. And we do have
That's
some,
to re-go.
we're about to re-go, yep. I think Thomas may have left the building. Yes, he has. So we'll jump on with Pete Kelly. Pete Kelly has control, needs to maintain 80 kilometres an hour.
Any hold able off. On him already.
On him, it is happening. Look at him go. Abel, he's flying. We start lap 35. Oops. And it's going to drop back. Simon Black, I think I've missed it. Have I? No, I haven't. Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Here we go. Oi, that is a big pincer manoeuvre. That is Simon Black. He did admit to issues with the first one, took the second one, involved in it.
They've both been doing well.
So hats off to Simon Black. What's the rule of Fight Club? You don't talk about Fight Club, so what did Simon Black do? I think I've been involved in an incident. It's my fault. The first one's my fault. The second one, I'm not sure. Need to work on that. You think Blackie you'd know better being a race control? Basically missed it with the fence in the way. And Abe has taken the lead and he's already a second ahead of you. So it's going to go a bit further back. Pico, Baxter. Baxter with his back against the wall here. Not happy because of the safety car procedures. Pico, he's sitting in sixth. Wonder here at lap 35 or 44, less than 10 to go. Wondering whether Pico's starting to write his post-race brief at this stage.
He was pretty happy at this point.
I reckon he would be. But he's got Slater behind him. Slater's up 8 spots in 7th. So plenty happening. Just going to drop back, see if I can catch it. I think I might have missed it. Where are you, Rosie? A lot of stones on the track down here. A bit further back, lap 36. We'll stick with Rosie for a minute. You hear those stones? Someone has bought a lot of stuff on the track.
Would have been the Simon Black one.
Yeah, it's going to go back to Pico. Pico looking to make a move. He's got Slater behind. That's looking very racy here. He's got Galloway behind him. Here we go. Pete Kelly saying don't touch the dial. He's found his pace again. So plenty happening back here that little bit.
Little battle between Darren, Kevin, and Dave Bulldog.
Who?
Darren Friend, Kevin and Bulldog.
Friend and O'Neill. Yeah, we'll go to that. There we go. There's Friendy, O'Neill. They are doing really well. Guys, if you're out there in the chat, let me know. What was the lowest frame rate you got last night? You can beat 13? I want to know. That's pretty much what I had at this stage. Thank you very much, iRacing. So keep an eye on some of the battles here. Pico and Slater. Galloway, this is a great little battle. Pete Morris tucked up behind. This is great to see him in the top 10. Lap 37. Keep an eye on my good friend Slater here. He's making a move. Galloway coming on the outside.
Going a long way around.
Oh, Slats, what are you doing, mate? Surely you can't blame the VR turning off for that one.
Sure you can. You can play whatever the fuck you want.
Bad frame rate.
That's my excuse. There we go. Freddie got 12. I'll take that. I'll pay 12. Pete Kelly, lowest was around 150. I wish. I wish. That would have been nice. Look, we just lost someone. Who left?
Yep. Brucey.
That was Bruce.
Brucey. Oh,
We clicked the wrong button.
Probably his frame rate dropped below 12.
probably. I get the ending credits. Gonna go back a little battle. Simon Hall's Simon Black's fighting his way back. Hey, Brucey, welcome. How are you, Bruce?
Oh,
Bit of battle going on back there. There's a few things happening around.
that car was airborne.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. Didn't show up in my notes before I did my notes.
It was a hit like that on the wheel. It had all damaged up.
Yeah. Yeah, Hazy making a move.
At this point, I was probably being a little annoying to my fellow teammates and a little loud.
No.
I can get
Sure,
quite
they can
boisterous
do
when
that.
I'm. I can get quite boisterous when I'm on the charge.
Hey, Fish wants to know, Brucey, did you say, Alexa, please reconnect me to Discord?
No.
What was your frame rate before you dropped out?
Fishy loves to try and get my Alexa to say stuff, but he realizes I have headphones on. So you don't hear it.
Aaron Geese's VR dropped the 17 frames per second. Go the goose. Michael, were you unhinged? That's a good question from Jim
A little.
Cabaronis.
A team member after the race did indicate that I was being a little distracting.
A little distracting.
Yeah, he may currently be coming second and in a bit of a battle where he doesn't want to be distracted.
Surely Yusuf can handle a little bit of distraction.
Well, you probably have to get used to it because that's just what I do.
Does he want to come race with Bulldog? We can work on that. Pete Kelly, he's putting a bit of pressure on here, on Williams. So this battle's starting to go to the line. Never know, Neil, it's only affecting people in VR. No, it's not affecting people in VR. It's affecting everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, everyone copped it.
Bulldog last week got to 15 frames per second. I beat him. I got down to 14, so I was pretty impressed. Only beat Bulldog at something last night. At 39 to 44.
I heard there was photos of you adding a few extra sandbags in, John, just so then you make sure you stay in four still after your win over Bulldog last week.
Oh, you saw that meme that was going around, did you?
I've seen a few. I considered making one of my own.
Robbie Williams, he's been very entertaining here. Lats is all over the back of him. Then we got Dougie Wright and Bulldog in 11. Three guys here should be doing at least up one more position.
Dave might have been in trouble if they just stopped squabbling and pushed on.
I think Dave was boasting about his frame rates at this stage. Here we go. He's had two mid-race crashes. Kevin, you don't crash. Had a reboot and a reconnect. That is a bit epic too. As we on lap 40 or 44, getting to the pointy end now. Still some battles up here for the podium. Pete Kelly sitting in third from Stevie Williams, Robbie Baxter. Still upset about the safety car at this stage, but he's got his nose down. Look at him go. This is an epic battle here. Abe Burbain is 1.8 seconds ahead of Yusuf Korafides. He's 1.7 seconds ahead of Pete Kelly. Then we come into Stevie Williams, Robbie Baxter, Carl Pickering, Bruce Galloway, Pete Morris from Fishing Motorsports. Guy recovering from a blood clot in his leg. That is impressive from Brucey Boy. From Pete, sorry. In front of Darren Friend, Kevin O'Neill in 10, Baldock in 11. Guys, Baldock in 11. Then we've got Dougie Wright, Sean Slater, Michael Hayes into Buckland. Williams is dropping like a stone. Not sure what happened there, but Rob has dropped all the way back down to 18th. That frees up Slater, frees up Wright to go after Baldock. Baldock's starting to get onto the back of O'Neill. Need to have a chat to KO about that. Darren Friend in 9th. He's hanging on here. Come on, Friendy. You deserve a top 10, buddy. Push on. Williams and Baxter, though, they are still nose to tail. That gap's only 1.2 to Kelly now. Kelly hanging on. Team VGA is battling on here. Doing very well. What's Yusuf saying at the moment, Michael?
He wasn't saying anything at this point. I was saying a lot.
He was saying, shut up, Michael.
Well, he was thinking that, he just didn't say it.
Oh, I think something's happened to Galloway. Galloway has parked it in the sand. I think that motor is kaput. Probably with 41 or 44. I don't think we'll get a safety car, but that is Galloway's night done. Come back on here to Dougie Wright.
Yeah, I was impressed with how well everyone adjusted to the weather changes.
Okay.
They
Can
held
I,
on the track.
yeah, I'm going to put it out there. It is probably one of the biggest changes I've done in league history. And not one comment going, oh, the weather's track's hot. Oh, it's later in the afternoon. Oh, the date of the race has changed. Not one comment, not one thing has been said. And I'm talking DMs, I'm talking team chat, I am talking league Discord. So I am absolutely blown away by everybody, how they have adapted and ran with it. The only comment I got was a little bit harder to do a setup this week because of the changes in conditions. That was it.
Well, I'll throw one out for you. I actually enjoyed the challenge of it being a little bit different. So there's one comment for you on a positive side. It was
well, that's all I've got. Change. That's all I've gotten is you go to the feedback channel and read that this morning, and it's just that is it. The people are quite happy with the changes that we've made. And I've been saying this season is going to be the season where we're going to be doing things different. And I've got to be fair to new people coming in, not to make the first 2 or 3 rounds full of stuff. I've kept them basic, and the rest of the season, except for 2 more rounds, we'll have something different. That's what I'm saying. If you haven't read the sup regs, read the first paragraph in page 2. Because Belle Isle will not be the Belle Isle we are used to, and you're going to have to be very strategically smart and set yourself up of how you manage your tyres.
Yep, I've already had that conversation with my team, and we'll go over it all week.
And it's a track where safety cars will be in abundance. And if you don't manage those tyres very
Don't
well,
mention the war, John. Don't mention the war.
if you don't look after those tyres or don't manage those tyres, it's going to be a long race on a shit set of tyres. That's all I'm going to say, Devin.
I had Jason Chin do like 7 safety cars in one race at Bella.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to get this in. Here we go. I'm going to bash on Slater here. Come on, Slats. Get in there, son. Hey, don't let Dougie in. Here we go. He's having a look. This is where the battle's at. Actually, I better get back up the front, do the right thing. Lap 43, we are on the penultimate lap. We'll need to tread carefully. Yeah, you can tread on the tyres, need to be careful. Exactly, Slats. Yusuf here, he's under pressure from Pete Kelly. Abel looks like he has got this one well up the road. Lap and a half to go. Comes down through Vips for the second last time. You're running through his head every single corner, every single apex, every single braking point that Luke Orban has taught him. He'd be saying to himself, I've got to bring this home for Luke. Be the best thing that happens in Tasmania. Did I miss it, Steve? Oh, I have to. Pass of the century, I've missed it. Slats is passed. I hope, Slats, you're keeping the 6th of December free, mate. Oh, big snap from Yusuf. Can Pete Kelly capitalise up the hill here? No, he can't. As we come around into Sagres for the second last time. Verbain, 2 seconds up the road. It is all happening. Bit of lap traffic, make it a bit more spicy. Let's jump on with Pete Kelly. He is 6/10 behind here. He can see that car up front. He's looking at that car up front. It is all happening for him. The white flag is out. Can he make it? It is not that far apart. Stevie Williams ain't out of this either. These two get caught up. Steve is in. Baxter, he's 3.7 seconds back. He's not going to knock on to the podium. But can Korofides hold off Kelly? This is the $1 million question at the moment. And it has been a great race. Verbain has done well. Verbain, I'll get it right, bloody hell. Verbain has done well. He has to be pretty chuffed for this one. Solo entrant under the Sim Racer HQ livery. Great looking livery too. Can't remember who did that one for him, but it looks absolutely awesome. Squint looks like Baldock in second. Geez, Will, you need to go to Specsavers. Here we go, yeah. Kelly making a move. Doesn't get it done. Has a second look coming up into Portimão. Can't hang on to it.
Yep, the grip got him.
Yep, the grip got him.
And a teammate that wouldn't shut up.
Coming back, no. And of course, it's all going to come down to this bloke here, Abel Verbain. Final corner, gets himself around. And that will be our round 4 winner. Abel Verbain, Pete Kelly sneaks it home in front of Yusuf Korofides. Stephen Williams sitting in the background watches that. So 1.5 seconds separates 3 to 4. Robbie Baxter comes home in 5th. 6th will be Carl Pickering. Pete Morris in 7th. Great result for the Fishy Motorsports driver. And then, of course, we come back to the next pack. Friendy, home up 10 spots in 8th. Sean Slater up 6 in 9th. Kevin O'Neill brings it home in... Hit that button there. Kevin O'Neill brings it home in 10th. Dave Baldock, 8th in 11th. Come on, guys. We've got to do better than this. Up 8th is Dougie Wright. That is fantastic in 12th. Up 9th is Anita in 13th. That is another fantastic result. I'm pretty impressed with that one too. Michael Hayes down 7 in 14th. Great recovery. Gets home in front of Wilco in 15th, up 9. Robbie Williams entertained us in 16th. Timmy Vermey from 1MLT was up 10 spots in 17th. Darren Freer ended up in 18th. Timmy Hall in 19th, up 6 spots. And Darren Walden rounds out the top 20 in up 3 spots. That was an interesting race, boys.
Nice one, boys.
Like we said, the
Definitely.
conditions were different. It was nice. I probably should have maybe been brave enough to go start the race half an hour later. You get a bit more of a sunset effect, but I didn't. So we finished on time. A couple of curveballs thrown to us with a server update happening at 11 o'clock. Everything fitted in nicely like I thought it would. We just had to change the servers to give ourselves the opportunity to fit it in properly. So that worked out well. We might start, of course, with the car of the day, boys. Any thoughts on that?
There's quite a few to choose from.
There is quite a few to choose from. I'm kind of
Pete Morrison's up there. Darren Friend.
Yeah, I reckon Pete, he's definitely done very well. So I think to me it's a shout out between Pete and Friendy. I think I'm sitting on the fence, so I'll throw it to you too. It sounds like you're sitting on the fence too, Hazy.
Yeah, I would throw it between those two.
All right, we're going to throw it out. We'll throw it out to the chat. Okay, let us know, Friendy, or we go with Petey Morris.
Got one for Friendy.
One for Friendy. See how many more we get. We'll come back to that. While we wait for that, we'll go, of course, to the man who won the race. I'll get rid of that screenshot. Abe Urbane, I know he dropped into the chat very quietly the other week. Abe would, of course, like to thank, by the sounds of it, Luke Allman for his driver coach. Definitely well and truly worth knowing. And he'd like to thank everyone else over at Sim Racer HQ. In P2 was Pete Kelly. Pete, of course, comes from the VGA Gaming Stables. I know that is Veteran Gaming Australia, for those who don't know the initials. I know he'd love to thank all the boys over there, and hats off to everybody that, of course, has given their service to our country, and that team represents a lot of those guys, not just here in iRacing, not just here in Vets, but across many other platforms and many other things. I'd like to thank everybody for their service involved with VGA, and hats off to Pete, of course, for coming P2. Over to you, Michael. Yusuf?
Yeah, so I would put forward that Yusuf probably would like to thank people like Phil Marsh for jumping in and doing a spotter for us for the first couple of rounds while he's been injured. And people like Gary Buckland's been giving him a fair bit of advice and stuff. So those type of guys have definitely helped out our season so far. And outside of that, just his driving itself, he's finally got his pit stuff sorted and he's showing the pace that he's got. So yeah, very happy with his progress so far.
Too easy. We'll go back to driver of the day. I'm just going to put this out there. This is getting even harder. It's not you, Hazy. I've got to change the text. This is getting even harder because everybody out there is split.
I think it's more Dazza, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I was going to throw it to you, Bruce, and say it's a management call.
I've been watching them come in, and the majority is Daz.
He's up 10. Pete's only up 2. So I think if Pete, I know he did very well to qualify well, but I think if Pete was up a couple more spots, I'd probably say well done. I think we give it to Mr. Friend. And a tight one day as well might help. There is no cat on my lap, so I can't blame that. So we'll give it to Friendy. Friendy is our driver of the day. Congratulations, Daz.
Good work, mate.
You, like I've been saying for a long time, ask Alexa. Ask Alexa. It's Brett Fisher's idea. No, Friendy, mate.
Alexa, should Darren be driver of the day?
How do you the answer?
It's just shit. Alexa, shut up.
No, friendly mate, well deserved. You have been driving well this season. You've been driving very well for a long time. Starting to eliminate a lot of the small mistakes that you've been making is great to see, and that's starting to translate on the leaderboard as well. So congratulations, mate, on your drive of the day. Speaking of leaderboards, let's have a look where it all sits after 4 rounds. Stevie Williams is still leading the series. Abel Verbain has moved up. I haven't put any drop rounds into this. I will throw some droppies into it next week. Michael Hayes is in third. Hazy, you got to be pretty chuffed with that.
I'm happy that I'm above Dave, yeah.
I was about to say, a bit more worried about the bloke separating you and your teammate. He's in fourth, or equal fourth with Yusuf. Probably should have switched that over, shouldn't I, since they were equal.
Give it a week and that'll change.
Sim Racer Hub. Bad Sim Racer Hub. Simon Black in sixth. He had a bit of a shocker last night, so expect him to move upwards when we start putting drop rounds in. Pete Kelly in seventh. Darren Walden in eighth. Peter Morris in ninth. Great to see a fishy boy in the top 10. Darren Friend, driver of the day tonight, in 10th. Timmy Vermey in 11th. Great to see him in there. The Leighton Larrick and Darren Freer in 12th. Dougie Wright in 13th. Carl Pickering in 14th. I reckon that's probably worth doing a debrief Facebook post for. Go check it out if you haven't. Vaughan Robinson in 15th. Anita Buckland in the top 20 in 16th. Timmy Hall in 17th. Craigie Rose 18th. Sean Slater in 19th. Don't forget, Sean didn't race last week. He's got a 0 against his name at the moment with no drops. So is Petey Wilkinson behind him in 20th. And then again, well, I'm giving shout-outs for people's social media antics. Highly recommend. It's been 5 months between podcasts, but Pete Wilkinson's back in the podcast frame again. Go check out the Locked On Lads podcast. It is well worth the look. Highly recommend you go listen to Petey. It is really good. He gives a really good debrief of what's going on in Split 4 Vets. Then 21st is Kurt Heath, the rookie, didn't race last night. 22nd is Dave Logsdale. Robbie Baxter is 23rd. Expect him to move upwards as well when we start bringing in the drop rounds. So it is all happening in this split. As I said, next week we head, of course, to the one and only Belle Isle. Any thoughts on taking the Gen 3 to Belle Isle, boys?
It should be interesting.
I think it's
I'd suggest to set your buttons.
Yeah, I think it's going to be real interesting because we've only ever done one tyre limited race before, and that tyre limited race was based on that tyre limited race was based on the one and only 150k race. So you're only trying to get 75k's basically out of a set of tyres. We're doing a 200k race, so we're going to push the limits a little bit more with that. And I'm just going to say it will be interesting to see how we handle that. Belle Isle is an interesting track on tyre wear as well. So tyre wear, looking after tyres is going to be very important next week. That's all I'm going to say. Keep an eye on the SUP regs. I did mention it before. Sandown is the race after. I do believe you get 4 seasons in one day in Melbourne. Is that correct, guys?
Yes, you do.
So you need to probably have a look at what the weather forecast might be for that race. We then roll ourselves into a very unique situation in vets that we only do here if we're lucky. And we are then going to Thruxton, where we are doing a sprint round, but it's an interesting format that we're doing in the sprint round. It will be, I'll quote this so everyone gets the understanding of it. It will be qualifying, and then we will have top 10 reversed for a qualifying race. So there will be a sprint race, which will be a qualifying race, and then we will then have the feature race for points. So it will only be the feature race where you score points, and it will be very interesting to see. So if you think you're going to sandbag yourself qualifying to put yourself on the front row qualifying race, then yeah, it's going to be interesting. If you sandbag too much, you might find yourself sitting outside the top 10. Yeah, so we'll see how that game plays out. Something a bit different. And then round 8, we go to Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City. So that will be very interesting to see how that rolls out. That'll be a normal race
Such a
format,
great
200
track.
normal race format, 200 Ks, 47 laps. Not going to do anything funny there. Red Bull Ring. And of course that is in the Swiss Alps. So I'll be having a look at the weather forecast when we get to that one. And then we finish the season off for round 10 for a 150 kilometre sprint race. And that will be 42 laps, 50 litres of fuel, 2 compulsory pit stops. It will be an absolute hoot. So looking forward to getting the Sachsenring season off. So the season doesn't have a hell of a lot left when we start rolling it out like that. 6 races. Keep an eye out, of course, for entries and everything else for season 26. It's a short break, so we need to get ourselves going real quick on that one. Yeah, it's all happening, Bruce.
Yeah, it is. Before we know it, would blink and it'll be all over.
It will. And, of course, for everyone doing the more bigger stuff, we are into Enduro season for Scops. We've got the Scops Bathurst 1000 this weekend on Sunday. Of course, we have Enduro season for Pro Series still running. I think they've still got a Sandown that coming up next before the end of the month, plus then their Bathurst at the end of November. Bathurst week for the V8 Pro Series is absolutely looking like a festival of iRacing or festival of sim racing in Australia. Starting with on the Wednesday night, they have the Pro Series co-driver race with a golden ticket up for grabs for the second driver. So it's basically just a second driver race. So the co-drivers get to race, have a good little battle there themselves. And then on the Friday night is the final of the Pro GT series. And then on Saturday night we have the qualifying. Then we have a Porsche race being run under Hamish Munro's league. And then after that we have a top 15 shootout. And then, of course, the main game itself happens and occurs on the Sunday. So absolutely looking forward to that one. It will be a huge weekend of motorsport or sim racing motorsport. So it'll be good for that, and plenty of our vets drivers are involved in that one. So keep an eye out for that. I know we've got a lot of guys in there, such as Jordan Ross, Sean McNamara, Scotty Gamble. All those guys are racing in those events. So definitely keep an eye out for those guys. It will be an absolute headset cracker. And that, of course, is on the 23rd of November. So there's plenty of motorsport still to happen in this season. And we talk about next season already coming very quick. So keep an eye on things happening as we roll through. Waitlist is slowly growing. So definitely make sure you get your entries and stuff done quick. Anyway, on that note, we might wrap this one up, guys. Any last comments from you boys?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you're listening out there, Yusuf, map a mute button if Michael's giving you the shit.
I might just have to learn to be a little bit more diplomatic in Discord.
Yeah, I'm kind of going the opposite way, I think, Michael. The group in my Discord. Not so much Pat, but the other guy. I think I'm going to have to be less diplomatic.
Okay. Tell him to turn up this week on Saturday night, and we'll have a talk to him.
I don't know. I think he might be busy tomorrow night. I've got a gut feeling on something going on there, but I'll definitely. I know I won't be there tomorrow night. I've got a bloody cricket on, but yeah, definitely. Oh, if I'm not going to be there, he'll be there.
Yeah, probably just to give you shit while you're not there.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, for anyone that is involved in that league, not to watch this broadcast, that There's one particular person I need to catch up and just have a bit of a chat. The younger guys in that league, I need to have a bit of a chat to him about some of the changes coming to vets.
Perfect. I'll let him know that you
Looking
need
for
to have
him,
a
yeah.
chat with him.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, we might wrap this one up. Huge thank you. Still 30 of yous out there. I don't know why you listen to me dribble. Plenty happening. League is in good shape, and we are working very hard in the background to keep it there. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 6:30, we have the team AJR broadcasting from over the other side of the ditch. Bit of a Kiwi flavour. Spiced up, of course, by Zippy Zeal and the rest of the team AJR lads. And then at 8:30, we have Fish and Hamish giving the Split 2 replay as well. So make sure you go and check those out. Those boys do a fantastic job on those broadcasts, and definitely need to get in, pitch in, like and subscribe to anything that we do here on the V8 Vets YouTube page, of course. And one last quick comment as I wind up. If you did have frame rate drops and anything that was disparaging over the last couple of weeks, make sure you click on the link that Bruce and I both put up into the iRacing forums. Get in there and just say it happened to me. The more people in that page and the quicker that page grows, I think the more people from iRacing see that there's an issue.
They're aware it's an issue. They just can't reproduce it reliably.
Yeah, but just I think the more people complain, the more they realise they've got to work hard to find it. Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. So make sure you do that. Anyway, on that note, guys, let's wrap this one up. That is round 4 in the books. Next week, Belle Isle. Have some fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching, guys.
Racing the RaceKraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a RaceKraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The RaceKraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.